The Panasonic Lumix G100 is the ultimate vlogging paradise, developed in conjunction with Vloggy Vloggers team to send your vlog into the vlogosphere. Not really, at all. It's useful for some other things, though. Sort of. Hi folks, it's Benji, and I want to talk about the Lumix G100 Micro Four Thirds camera. Initially marketed as a super vlogging camera. Well, the vlogging community already trashed it for that. Shortly after its release, and rightfully so, though it does have a few nifty features. First, let me tell you why I bought it. And I bought it sort of out of desperation and paranoia. Desperation and paranoia. I had to send my Lumix G95 in for repair, which I'm shooting on right now. And I needed a backup camera in the interim because I did not have another systems camera on hand. So I was hesitant to buy used because I'm already using credit to do any of this. Money I shouldn't really be spending. And I at least wanted a warranty. So what was available new to me, what was on my system currently, had a viewfinder, had a flippy screen. Even though I don't do a lot of video, though I'm doing more of that. I do some, and I do TikTok and other things like that, and I want to raise my quality, so I do need to see myself, or I prefer to. I love to look at myself. But laughing at my own jokes, that's not funny. But I needed that. I wanted the same system, viewfinder, because I do not compose on the screen. I don't do that with my photography at all. But also, if I was going to spend this money I don't have, my imaginary credit money, I also wanted to serve another purpose that wasn't being covered yet. And one of those was a smaller walk-around camera, something I could fit into my bag when I dog walk during the day and I'm all throughout the city. I don't miss a lot of opportunities because I don't have a camera on me. So I wanted something compact, and this is, I think, of current available models, new models, the smallest Micro Four Thirds camera you can get. Now, they were also saying things like, well, it's the same sensor as the G9 and the G95, and, well, I'm going to dispel that right away. Like, yes, it might be the same actual sensor, but the way the sensor is incorporated and the ergonomics of using it make things a lot different. So that's one negative already. Like, yes, it's the same sensor, but are you going to get the same user experience out of having that sensor in this camera? You're absolutely not going to. But let me backtrack a second, though. I want to talk about some of the features that I thought were interesting about it. It also has a microphone array where you can select it's front forward, or surround, or rear only. And rear only if you're filming something else. You can narrate sort of from the back. Or you can isolate just the subject, or if you're filming yourself, you can isolate towards that, or if you wanted to get the environment in with everything, you could do that as well. So it's these options of this little microphone array. I thought that might be handy. Doesn't prove as useful in actual practice, because you have to be, and I guess this sort of makes sense in the vlogging concept, like you have to be relatively close. If we're like we are filming now, it would be useless. There'll be room everywhere. But if you're hand holding and literally right here or setting up a tripod very close to yourself, the mics are adequate, but I really don't think they are going to forego an external mic or a little wireless mic or a little shotgun or something. It's not as good. In a pinch, they work better than most internal microphones. But that was something that attracted me to it, but I quickly kind of dispelled. One handy feature that I kind of like, if you turn it into selfie, if you turn this camera on, let's turn the camera on. Let's see if I can do this. Please rotate the zoom. That's another thing, this little pancake lens drives me nuts. And if you turn it into self mode, let's see if we can do this. We'll press record. A little timer counts down, and it immediately goes into that mode, and it records it that this is in vertical orientation on the file. That is kind of handy. So you don't have to like go and flip this around, or if you're importing to your phone and uploading immediately, orientation's already covered, that step's done, don't have to worry about it. It's kind of convenient that it goes into that selfie mode automatically, and face tracking, if you flip the screen and press record, it's ready to go. It knows what you wanted to do or what your intention was. It's convenient, but there's not that, you don't have to go that far to work around that issue. So it doesn't really resolve anything. It's kind of nifty. But yeah, as a vlogging camera, I'm not a vlogger. But I can see why it's not a vlogging camera. And they also removed the stabilization in this. It only has electronic stabilization. It does not have the mechanical in-body stabilization thing. Yeah, so most people that are buying it, and it's still on the market today, you can still buy this brand new, and the price recently dropped. I got this pretty cheap. Well, compared to its original price. So they were selling for about $800. You can get them for about $550 now. When I got this, it was about $500. So significantly less than its original asking price. I've taken some images with it I'm happy with. A few, but I've taken a lot more that I'm not happy with. And one of the reasons it did not replace my G95 or was a terrible backup for it, is it's electronic shutter. And they limited the flash sync to 1/50th of the second. Pretty slow. So if you're trying to do flash photography in a club or nightlife type stuff, forget about it. And I'm just going to say it's useless for flash photography, to the point is why I don't even know they have the internal flash. About half the shots I've taken with flash have rolling shutter artifacts, where half the screen's flash and half the screen's not. And it's not like, well, you went beyond the... No, you can't go beyond the setting. It prevents you from going beyond the sync setting. So it's not user error on that end. And I tried it with a couple different flashes too to make sure. And the internal flash, there are rolling shutter artifacts no matter what. It's absolutely useless for flash. Little G100. So who's it for? I don't know. Is it for a walk-around camera with a halfway decent viewfinder, good lighting, daylight, clear day, and you're taking, general tourist type shots, static shots, architecture, people posing, things like that? It's fine, and it'll accept all your MFT lenses and work on that system too. But if you're putting much bigger of a Micro Four Thirds lens on it than the little collapsible pancake lens that it comes with, do it. Focus. Yes. It's going to become so large that it kind of takes away that size advantage for just being like almost pocketable or just kind of fitting in your little handbag or purse or whatever. And the pancake lens ain't that great. It's fine in perfect conditions. It's fine, but it also doesn't have a manual focus ring on it. So it's pretty much, it's a point and shoot with until recently the larger MFT sensor that you can change lenses on. That's what it is. You need something new. If you really want to just kind of shoot in auto all the time and set it up, you could do that. But there's a lot less expensive options out there to do that than investing into this. I would not say there's a way into the MFT system. I'm holding on to it for now. I got a little ship that's supposed to come in, during the summer, which should allow me some leverage to maybe trade up and sell off and get something else that's more pocketable, perhaps an older MFT camera. But viewfinder and flippy screen in the small format, there's not that many out there. So I can't say I recommend it, because it's just compromise after compromise after compromise. And what's another compromise on it? I'm a back button focus shooter. I'm rambling all over the place today, but there is no back button. No back button. Now, I worked around that. I assigned exposure compensation, because I never use exposure compensation. I do that manually, typically. I assign the exposure compensation button to be a back button focus, and then put the upload button, because upload doesn't matter in record mode, as the exposure compensation. So I switch those functions around. But yeah, it's just compromise after compromise after compromise till it's not great at anything. It's really not great for anything, and it's absolutely horrible for something. So I can't say do what I did out of desperate. Look for the next time I'm going to the used market, I'm going to find an older MFT, small camera or something like that. I'd say, you know, even if you're looking for a little walk around camera, this ain't it. That's sort of, it being a quasi acceptable little walk around camera is sort of afterbirth of its intention. That sounds terrible, but that's what's going on here. So the Lumix G100, as always reviewed by many people, it's a terrible little camera. Some people are happy with it. I don't know why they're happy with it. Again, no, useless flash. Supposedly, if you're using remote triggered flashes, you can get beyond that. I don't use remote trigger flash. I use on-body flashes. I'm not doing severe studio work here. So it's compromise after compromise after compromise after compromise. And if you look up other videos and reviews, or heaven forbid, go to Reddit, don't do that. You don't need that in your life. But yeah, the Lumix G100, don't do what I did. Don't do what I did. I have it for now. It's my walk around. It's my backup, but I think it's getting replaced when I can do it. I'm sorry for that news. I'm sorry for the negativity. That's not negativity. This is reality. And I forgot. I'm new here. I'm new here on the YouTube. Subscribe and like if you liked it. If you like me. I didn't even show off my dress yet. I don't know if we can do it in this darn 16:9. I'm gonna lift myself up. See if we can. Well, that'll be another video entirely. All right. Bye-bye.